All right, we're back.
It was a long break.
It was a
felt long, low-key.
break-in. My name is Try.
My name's Engerson. What's good, y'all?
Can't Tell Me Nothing podcast. All right, man.
What is this, episode 8?
I think 19. Yeah.
19, okay.
Yeah,
episode 19.
Yeah, it was a long week. You want to tell how was the weekend?
Memorial Day was cool. It was a cool little Memorial Day weekend. I'm not gonna lie, I was recovering for sure Monday and Tuesday. I got too drunk. I'm not gonna lie. I was drinking way too much this weekend. So I had to recover personally. Especially on Monday, I got drunk. So I was using those days to recover. Especially when you said, let's push back to Tuesday. I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Then I woke up Tuesday. I was like, damn. I don't even know if I want to record today. I was feeling rough.
I don't even know how to bounce back.
And then you was in AZ, so you
yeah,
was
man.
Morning.
I came back and I felt like I've been saying nothing but the Valley, baby, the Valley. Man, you know what? I came back and I was like, what the fuck am I even doing here?
The Suns fans now, by the way.
I'm going to leave that for the sport episode, and then later we're going to watch the Laker game while I talk shit on them. Because the Valley, baby, the Valley. But yeah, no, I went to AZ.
Life was it out there? Was it hot?
Life is different. No.
Well, it's more open. Way more open out there.
It's not hot. Because you know why?
Why?
I told myself it wasn't hot.
Okay, but what was the weather like?
It was 102, but it didn't feel bad. It's dry desert heat. So
it's not as bad as like Vegas.
No,
like it'll hit 110 every once in a while.
Vegas is bad. I feel like oh my God, Timber.
He almost busted his ass. I was about to start.
Yeah, no, he's coming down for his attention. No, I feel like it's weird. They're both the desert. But Vegas heat surprisingly is way worse than Arizona heat.
Yeah, it's way drier.
Yeah,
Arizona's a little. I mean, it's not that.
I think the difference is the wind. Arizona catch a little bit more wind,
like a breeze.
Yes. Yeah. It was hot, but there's a breeze.
When I went out there a couple years ago, when we went to my cousin's house out there in Phoenix, we went for Thanksgiving.
Right.
Now, mind you, this is wintertime, so it was like 30 degrees at night. But during the day, it was still hot. But like you said, it was like a breeze out there. It wasn't like Vegas where it's just fucking dry heat and you're just out there just
miserable.
Dying. Yeah, just feeling miserable if you're not in the pool or inside.
And Vegas often tends to have these like gusted wind, like sand.
And they just be hot winds. It don't even be like a breeze. It just be hot air blowing on you.
Right.
That shit was terrible when I was out there last year.
Right. Arizona was fun. I liked Arizona a lot. It felt different. It felt free. Everybody was doing their own shit. Life seems normal. Nobody was trying to tell people to do anything.
Yeah, it's completely open back up out there.
And you know exactly where I'm going with that. I came back and I was like, fuck, let me go get my mask to get in the fucking a restaurant here. I'm like,
well, we about to be June 15th.
Yeah, we about to be, but then they're like still kind of like,
It's a little more crowded, that's why.
Yeah.
A little more crowded. I don't know. Well, Vegas is fully opened up now.
Yeah, Vegas is fully opened up. No, I like Arizona a lot. We went, checked out houses. We were in Tempe. We were in Scottsdale. We were in Glendale. We're saving Phoenix. I've been to Phoenix, but I'm saying we because I'm gonna show we're gonna come back and then we're gonna do Phoenix for Nicole's sake.
Phoenix is right there, like right off the 10.
Yeah,
so
it's all right.
You could kind of do that one. Well, yeah, right. Scottsdale.
I was too busy partying in Tempe and Scottsdale. Scottsdale's my favorite. Scottsdale's lit.
5-hour drive.
Scottsdale's lit. Is that block? Is that 1, 2? It's like that. It's like a T, which is bar,
like,
club,
like a downtown area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that on your story.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. It's fun. It's different. It's a different vibe. Like you can just bounce, pop to places. The traffic, there was no traffic. Shit, that don't exist there. The freeways is cleaner. The streets just cleaner. There's less homeless people.
Is there even any freeways in Arizona, or is it just like the 10?
It's a lot. It's a lot of freeway.
I know it's like the 10. I know
there's
it's like
4 of them. There's 4 of them.
I know it's the one that goes That movie was named
Straight-
after like the 310 or something.
Right. There's one that goes straight through Phoenix. There's one
That's
that
the 10.
goes south and north of Phoenix.
I think
And then
that's the
there's
310.
there's another one that goes diagonal, but then there's small like little freeways. No, they've opened up the few since the last time I've been there. There's a lot more freeways going through the city than like Seattle, for sake, or Colorado, which has only fucking one freeway going through downtown.
Yeah, that's
which
what
is-
I was wondering if
which
AZ
is
was like
nuts.
Seattle and Colorado. It's really only like
no,
the main freeway.
or Vegas, which only has that one
The
fucking
15.
yeah.
Well, no, the
No, it has like
215 is.
it has 3 or 4
You're
going
right.
through.
Vegas is just a 15. It's a 215, and then it's like maybe one more, and those just going like to the middle of fucking
Right.
nowhere.
Nah, man, they really give a fuck about their like freeways. Like I can tell they put a lot of money into it.
Yeah,
It's
it looks nice out
It's
there.
clean.
Looks nice
Like
out
it's
there.
the freeway's decorated. Like there's no trash. It's a good consistent flow. There's no bumps. You're not driving in. You know how you driving on the freeway in LA and you're switching lanes and you're always like this the whole time. No, everything's
Specifically
smooth.
the 405, yes, especially over there by me.
No, I actually hate the 91.
91 too. 91
I hate
too.
the 91, and then
91
I don't know. I hate all the fucking freeways, to be honest.
405 is terrible, no matter where you get on it up.
Yeah,
I feel like we talked about this before.
405 is trash because the transition between the 405. Let's say if you want to get to the 405 to a different freeway, it's always so complex, and then it's like.
And it's always so much traffic. It's kind of, if you're not already over there, it's kind of
Right,
You
and
gotta
it
be
hit-
real aggressive.
It hit all the hot spot, like all the hot spot. The 405 goes through the entire hot spot
It goes
of.
through all of SoCal pretty much.
So I
For
hate
the
the
most part.
405,
Like
but
the main, like you said, all the hot spots where the main shit is at.
right, yeah.
LA, West LA.
No, it was cool. It was quiet. It was peaceful. That's why I like. It was peaceful. Although it was like, Memorial. It wasn't a lot out there. It was peaceful. And then we went to a rave. That shit was fun. They were super lenient. There was no mask. Thank God. We went and saw houses. The lady was like, you don't gotta wear a mask here. I was like, say no more shit.
Bro, they don't care
Say
about
no
wearing masks out
more.
there. They've been wearing masks since
Tempe.
COVID started. They've been open basically since
Yeah,
COVID started.
because you know
to
what?
Be honest.
Most of the shit's outdoor and it's hot as fuck. Nothing surviving there.
So
There's no way.
If you outdoors, it's kind of hard for you to,
Yeah.
catch something.
What brings me to this point. I want a public apology from YouTube for banning our videos. We need an apology for banning our video for speaking the truth. So I
we
don't.
was talking about the vax. Yeah, they
Right.
For sure
So
banned our
we
video.
we made a video. We were talking about vaccines, and we were talking about conspiracies and all that shit. But in there, I specifically didn't agree with the Bill Gates thing, which is wow. But I specifically said that this whole time we were talking about the lab leak, and that was the narrative that was not allowed on all social media platform. Because back then Trump said it, Joe Rogan said it, scientists and doctors said it. It was a bunch of people that came out and said it, and we all got bashed. Andrew Schultz said it. We all got bashed. We were all called racist. We were all called conspiracy theorists. We were called all this and this, that by social medias and CNN and MSNBC, CNBC, ABC. They all disqualified that thought because Trump said it, so it must be false. And he said a lot of shit too. So he's not really qualified there.
Well, see, I think I know me personally, the reason at that point I stopped believing anything Trump said, because we already got the proof that he didn't take it serious. Right. So at that point, you had to take anything that came out of Trump's mouth with a grain of salt.
Right.
Now, someone else that was maybe a little more credible would have came out around this time and said this.
No, there were. So there was.
I didn't really look into this that much.
There was specific doctors and specific scientists that came out and had published YouTube videos talking about it, and they were banned. They were removed.
That's why I probably didn't get the chance to see them.
So no, I knew a lot of fucking people that fucking were saying it, and then we're gonna tie this into Fauci and how he's in a whole nother mess, but you can't find it on CNN because they're not talking about it.
Mm-hmm. I just found it on CNN, but
not on their IG.
No, I'm looking at their web page.
Okay. Or
but
but they're not really they're not really blasting the story.
Yeah, they're not blasting them. It's more just saying what happened. You're not gonna kill him. They're on his side.
Yeah. Anyways, but no. So on the episode we talked about it, and I was just like, yo, you know what? It doesn't take a rocket fucking scientist to understand that there were a lot of reports that came out earlier in the beginning, and then they were saying like, hey, this might have no relations to bats anyways. And there was a lot of traits from this virus that definitely seemed like it came from a lab. And then if you do just the geological thing, the one research lab happened to be in Wuhan that researches like viruses specifically. It doesn't take a rocket scientist for somebody to be like, hey, maybe we should look into that. You know, like we're not here to be racist or xenophobic like people were saying or whatever it is. Like we're just saying like, hey, maybe you should look into that. So we're saying it, and then our video got taken down, and now suddenly the narrative is cool with the media, so I guess we can talk about it. So we're gonna talk about it now.
To be fair,
like
only thing
this
I
is
can
a
say,
hey, my fuck you moment. I was never wrong. And a lot of people was never wrong.
To be fair though, the only thing I would be able to say, like if I'm trying to play devil's advocate, maybe it was a sensitive time then, so maybe YouTube was just trying to, be smart about. It's hard to say because they let certain information get out, I guess, on both sides. Bro. So maybe they was just trying to be smart about whatever they put out.
Bro, you don't have to sugarcoat anything.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
You don't have to sugarcoat anything. A year back, anything Trump said, the media went the left. Like went the opposite way. Yes. So he said they're like, no, it's false. He said this, no, it's false. The only he said a lot of false things. No, it's not a hoax. It's real. But two things that he said that had validity behind it. One was the lab leak. Two, the Z-Pack and what is it? Hydrochloroquine. That shit worked because there's a lot of people came out and said, yo, this shit actually saved me when I was in the hospital. So the two things that have validity behind it, they all came out and bashed it just because he said it. Now, the reason why I hate it because
I think with the hydro shit, it wasn't more that he was wrong, but the doctors didn't have all the information yet. Like they were still testing it, so they didn't want him to just go out here and say this because he's the president. If you go out and just say that, oh, this could basically cure COVID or prevent it, and people are going out and getting this, and we're not, and the doctors weren't really at that point. They weren't sure. Like you're right. Some people.
Yeah, but he specifically came out with a paper that from certain doctors that advise him that worked. It's not like he's just pulled it out of his ass. Now I had now the thing that was happening was Brandon Sharp was ex MMA fighter. He's always on Joe Rogan podcast. He has a bunch of podcasts himself. He caught it. He went to the doctor, and the doctor asked him, it's like, hey, like before I ask you this question, may I know like where are your politics are leaning? And Brandon Sharp was like, what the fuck do you mean? He's like, yeah, like this is kind of important. He's like, what? He's like, okay, because I would highly recommend you prescribing you CPAC and hydrochloroquine, but currently right now, like a lot of Democrats are willing to take that because Trump said it, and he's like, dude, I don't give a fuck if it works. It worked. Just give it to me. And he took it, and
that's fine. I don't care what the Democrats
and it fucking worked. So
I don't care what the Democrats or Republicans say. I'm going off of what the science says.
But then now going back to the science. So who was our science guy?
Fauci.
Okay, well our science guy turns out that he doesn't actually always state the fact. He has his own narrative, and he's driven his own narrative this whole time.
Yeah, his narrative is supposed to. Well, I don't know if it's his own narrative. He says it's more of the government's.
He says it's the science, but okay, science one thing, but he flip flop. First, he was like, "Don't wear a mask." Second, it was like, "Oh, okay, only people with COVID wear a mask." And after, it's like, everybody should wear a mask. And then after, like, everybody should double mask. And it was like, "Oh, even if you're vaccinated, you should wear a mask." And then, "Oh, actually, no, if you're vaccinated, you don't." So, bro, stop saying you're using scientific fact to state your argument, because you're not. Yes. And you were in charge of the whole AIDS thing in the 80s. That didn't very go well for you either. So let's not even go there. Your track record is flawed to begin with, and you were put onto this platter, and you're now about to have a book coming out. I think he won the Emmy or something, or he was
Emmy,
like,
he didn't win an
he
Emmy.
won something.
Oh, that was thinking of
and
you're thinking of Cuomo.
Cuomo, yes.
Like,
okay, so with Fauci,
doing no
so
goddamn
with Fauci recently, his emails were released, and there was a lot of juicy details in his emails. And some of the things I just want to point out is, well, one, back in January, he knew of the whole lab leak because one of the people had emailed talking to him about like, hey, maybe there's a lot of traits here that we think could possibly coming from a lab leak. And he acknowledged that, and he responded to it. We'll look into it, but then he comes out and he says a bunch of shit debunking it, saying there's no way it could have been a lab leak. There's a bunch of traits that referring this to be a virus that came from bat, but that's not that has been proven either. So he played a huge part in debunking the whole lab leak theory when he knew about it back in January, according to the emails. That's one thing. And then another thing that he lied under Congress about it when they asked him of the lab leak theory to Ron Paul. I think it was Ron Paul. They asked him. And so now he's in some deep shit for that. And so this whole thing kind of comes back around, which is like, yo, like he was a part of an organization called the NIH, and they turned out, oh, this is another lie that he caught upon. They happen to be a donor to the gain of function theory. Gain of function theory. Gain of function theory research.
You're talking about.
Gain of function theory research is is the type of research that they were doing when it came. It's a virus, related type of research that they were doing in the lab.
Mm-hmm.
That was the research, and that was the cause of the lab leak. Now, the organization that he's a part of, which is an American base, happened to donate to the research, and he denied it. Later on was like, he was like, well, yes, I donated it, but I didn't know it was for gain of function related research. So first time he was under Congress, he said, no, we never donated it to the Wuhan lab. Then afterward, he said, yes, we did, but not specifically for that research. And so he's been caught in so much lie with Congress that now, like, the emails and the lies, it's all catching up, and it's not doing us any good.
So it's basically time for everybody to come clean. That's what it sounds like.
For Fauci to come clean.
Not just him, for everybody involved.
Right. But he's
too, because he's the one caught in the middle.
He's the speaker for all. Yeah.
But it's pretty much time for everybody to just
come clean.
Come out and just say what the fuck happened.
Right.
Whether it was fucking from a bat, a bird, or the fucking lab.
Right. So
we need to figure out what happened so we can correct this and go back to normal already.
Exactly. So the reason why people are so mad, and the reason why like a lot of Republicans and people are like getting on his ass, is because this whole time like we were being called racist and all this shit when it didn't have to be. Like, people just want to get down to the root so that you can solve the problem. You can't solve a problem. You can't get down to the roots of the problem. But once you start pulling race into it, you suddenly have to kind of back off and let the hands go, because now suddenly it's a racist issue, so you can't actually solve the problem. But now that you can put that race card aside, we can get down to the nitty gritty and whose fault, and try to see if this was an actual lab leak. Now, if it is, then a lot of people are going to be fucking responsible for it. And then also the government can actually look into the NIH and all their donations and the relations with the Wuhan lab. And then why is the gain of function research paused but not stopped? Because according to the email, it was only said that the gain of function research was paused. It was never said. It was never stated that it was stopped. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. So all this mess. That's all I gotta say. Yo, at the end of the day, y'all banned us on something that didn't fit your narrative. Although we were not spreading lies.
Exactly.
We just stating the truth. And like I it's kind of pissed me off because we do this podcast and we're just trying to talk about things that we're informed about. It's not like I don't do my research. I'm not gonna out here say lies, but like you can't
exactly. We don't come on here and just talk out of our asses. Maybe sometimes with sports, but when it comes to the other shit we talk about, we don't just like talk out our asses. We try to do the research at least.
Right.
Make sure we know what we're talking about so we don't look like idiots on camera.
And to be honest, we didn't even last a month. We already got like
got
a month in, and one of our videos already taken down. I'm like, damn, that's a record.
Well, it was a sensitive topic, so that's probably why.
Yeah,
that's the only reason. If it wasn't such a sensitive topic, like if we were just talking about like anti-vaxxers and how they believe in, that the vaccines supposedly
Bill Gates and stuff like that. Yeah,
no, not the Bill Gates. How people say that like getting the flu shot or whatever supposedly give your kids autism, even though that's not true. Like if we was talking about like shit like that, we probably wouldn't even got. They would have paid us no mind, but because it was COVID, they had to they want to make sure, I guess, everything is right or whatever. I don't know. I can't tell you, man.
Right. You know what's crazy? I saw somebody posted on my story. I didn't want to say anything, but they like reposted a TikTok story. And it's like a TikTok story of like somebody showing like what's exactly, they're anti-vaxxer. They're showing like what's exactly it's in the vaccine. So they put up this website and it's like a bunch of like inflammable sign, like caution sign, and like of like the ingredients that's like in the vaccine. And I'm like, first of all, the website you click, it's not a .org. So
it's not even credible.
It's not even credible.
I don't even
I'm like, yo, the TikTok started and they clicked on the site and I was like, that's not a .org. Next, because you know what? You didn't go to fucking college, because guess what? If a professor saw that one of your sources is a .com, bitch, can't use it.
You got to use actual credible sources from .orgs, .govs, .edus,
right?
Any of that. That's not .com.
And the girl that reposted it sounded so smart. She was something in the comments. She was like, "Yeah, see, y'all be taking shit in your body that you didn't even do research for." And I'm like, "Well, bitch, you research and it's not even .org, so that's invalid."
That's the funny thing. I'd be laughing when it comes to like the anti-vaxxers, because they be talking about all you people getting the vaccines are just followers, and you don't do your research. And I'm like, well, apparently you didn't do your shit either, because you more off than I am, if anything.
Right. It goes vice versa. Like, everybody got to do their research, and then, you just can't repost shit if it's not .org. Like, who are you? Like a fucking first grader? You should know the typical easy thing. Cite your sources. Cite the right one, not the wrong one.
Well, we in a woke time. Everybody wants to be woke.
Everybody's so fast with the repos and not even like over seasoning.
I get you hate the government, whatever, but everybody's just trying to be so woke now and just trying to find any reason to just prove the government's corrupt. And even if they are, like, you guys are going like overtime.
Right.
Like if some of you guys put some of this energy that you guys
y'all might actually be smart in real life,
in actual school, or into your relationships that you put into trying to prove that the vaccine
what's crazy
isn't
though?
real.
Some of these people probably has a degree and is smart as fuck though. So
yeah, I know people that have college degrees and are anti-vaxxer. I'm like, you went to school for 4 years and you still don't know how to actually research shit. So what the fuck was you doing? Were you just doing drugs the whole time, or were you actually trying to learn? But I try not to be an asshole no more, so I just let it go. I just laugh at it. I don't really post shit about it no more. I got my vaccine and I've been chilling.
Yeah, for a little bit.
I could care less.
I had to tell you to chill, but anyways,
I don't give a fuck. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. Who gonna stop me?
All right, another big story that we should talk about that happened a couple weeks ago or whatever. But this whole BLM organization thing. We're not gonna talk about it too much because it's kind of a sensitive topic, and we got some funny shit that we do want to talk about.
Yeah. So let's get all the seriousness out.
But this thing. So, as an African American yourself, how did we know the story. We know the leader bought a bunch of houses for $1 million. We don't know where the donation went. We know all that. The story you can research yourself. Some people stepping down because of a whole bunch of backlash. But I want to ask you, a question as far as like, how does it feel like when, like, does it hurt more when it's like it always be your own people, and it's this statement really like really can go for every race. I think most of the time, like, we tend to blame the white man or blame other race because it's easier, you know? And because it's harder to blame your own. But most of the time, in most of the cases, it really be your own people, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, or whatever it is. Even Asian, it really be your own people that do the most damage in your own. So with that being said, like my question to you is that, like, how do you feel that, like, it be your own people that, like, always, like, you know, it can manipulate you the most?
You mean, okay, so in this sense, I mean, to me personally, I don't care. I mean, like,
yeah, but try to answer it from a perspective. Let's say you were a donor, you were a farm builder, you were a donor. I didn't donate shit, and I don't know BLM. If I donated, it wasn't to like other, like, smaller, like, on the ground charities that are actually, like, out there doing the work, not to just a big ass blanket charity like Black Lives Matter, right?
Not the movement, but the actual like company and.
But let's try to like try to understand it from a person. So
I put myself. Let's just say hypothetically, I was someone who actually donated to like the actual like BLM like organization, group, like Black Lives Matter trademark group, not the movement. Just so everybody knows, we're talking about the actual like group. If I donate like a big amount of money, or even if I donated a little money. And I mean, still at this point, I don't think maybe I got to still do research, but I don't think they really said where a lot of the money went. All they probably said was like,
it's never disclosed.
They never disclosed it. So yeah, we never really seen where the money went. So I would probably be a little upset, I guess. I don't know. Like, I wouldn't really know how I would feel unless I was actually in a situation, but I know I would be upset if I gave you money that I thought was going to a good cause.
Right.
And it turns out that we don't know where that money went. For all we know, that money could have went to all these houses that you got or whatever it may be. So yeah, I'd be a little upset. But at the same time, if I'm knowing that I'm not just donating money to BLM and I was doing other stuff with other groups to also help,
right,
then I guess I probably wouldn't be too mad.
Because I remember when the shit happens, like, everybody was donating to the BLM Foundation, and like everybody reposted their site, their link, their story. And then me and Nicole, I remember, we're like, okay, do we trust this organization? Do we know this organization is the big leading support of this whole movement? Like, what do we know where it's going? So we just donated to the one that's like directly for George Floyd family.
That's what I did.
Yeah, and so we didn't, but you know, there was a lot of people that donated to them because they accordingly like received over 90 million worth of donation in 2020 alone. So there was a lot of people that did their research but still put the belief in the foundation. Or there might be people who didn't do the research and was just like, oh, this is the movement. You know, we hear the BLM everywhere. We see the logos. We see the hashtags. We see the foundation with their account literally in every big county that you can think of, that starting protests for every situation. And it just blindly donated. And then turns out, you know, the leader bought a bunch of fucking houses in a rich white neighborhood. None of that money went to any of the families that were suffering through the whole thing.
I don't think George Floyd or Breonna Taylor's family seen any of that money.
I looked it up. None of them received it, which is the reason why Breonna Taylor's mother came out and was like, "Yo, like, don't start protests and say my daughter's name.
Yeah, well, if
you're not gonna help.
She was saying, like, don't be protesting and using my daughter's name in your protests to get all, like, she didn't say clout, but like in the sense to get all that clout.
Right.
If you're not really doing anything to help the family, you're just using her name for your views and for people to come out to your events or whatever, but
right,
you're not really working with the family. You're not really in the city, like,
exactly,
working with the groups that are working with the family, trying to get stuff done to bring actual police reform and bring actual change. You guys are just in the streets just marching.
Right.
And like Jay-Z said, at some point you have to start doing actionable items. You can't just...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's good to protest and bring awareness, but at some point you have to actually start taking action, doing things like how Kwame Brown be talking about, building youth centers, building schools for underprivileged kids that have better education. You have to start doing this stuff. You can't just keep marching because it's going to be okay. Well, then what? Okay, you've marched, you protest. We've raised the money to start making these.
Now it's time to use that money, put in the groundwork, and then
and
spread
take
it
actual
among
action. Yes.
spread it among the community.
Yes.
But we're still not gonna know what's gonna happen with the money. Nobody really said anything. Just a bunch of people stepping down. So going forward, like, do you see the foundation surviving? Do you see people still supporting them? Because like I recently checked, just because we're talking about it today. I still feel like there's a lot of supporter. Like on the page and all that. It seems like a lot of people still believe in the foundation, but like going forward, do you see them having the same impact, or like your people like still having some kind of faith in them?
If you're talking specifically like that group, no.
Yeah,
in other groups, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, I won't even say that. I think that if maybe they get new leaders in there, if all the anybody who was involved in like the past couple years with all the protesting and gathering money and all that shit, I feel if anybody that was involved, if all those people stepped down, we already had the main chick step down, the leader of the Minnesota chapter step down. If we just get all the main heads stepping down and get new people in power.
Well, the Minnesota one stepped down because he came out and said that he stepped down because he didn't agree with a bunch of stuff that they were doing, and he was against the.
No, and that's fair. That's fair. He has the right. I wasn't saying that he did anything bad.
Yeah,
but I was just saying, like, in general, like, we've already had two people step down. So if we just replace all the leadership with like newer people who still are fighting for the same cause, but won't, I guess, I don't want to use corrupt. That's a strong word, but I guess aren't as shady as them and can be more transparent with what they're doing with the money and what they're doing in general. Yeah. I think that maybe they could regain. I wouldn't say that they completely lost like the trust of the supporters, but I think they could regain like the trust back, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and when it comes to like organizations and their donations, like the one foundation that they're probably going to be their first pit stop is BLM. And I feel like I think they received some type of donation from the NBA. And yes. I think like
in the NFL,
yeah, I think going forward, they need to be looked at further. They need to be more transparent with their money. Where is it going? What foundation, and et cetera, so that the people can actually like gain some trust back, and that so people can know like where the money is going. Because then at the end of the day, it's a nonprofit organization. It's not supposed to be a for-profit organization.
Yeah, and my thing is, I could honestly, like, if I donate, I could care less what you do with the money, as long as you're doing something that's for the reason like the people are donating, like that's going towards that cause. Yeah. You don't have to say nothing, but if all we see is the leader going buying these nice ass houses in nice rich neighborhoods, then what do you expect? People are gonna start asking questions, be like, okay, well, where's the youth centers? Where's the Where's the money put into the communities to help where police don't have to respond to every mental health situation, where police don't have to respond to every emergency if it's not like a violent threat or whatever, where we could put these troubled teens in these youth centers and stuff where they can stay out the streets and not be doing gang shit. Like where's the money? Show, at least you don't got to show where the money is going, but at least show that you guys are actually building these things and trying to take steps to make the communities better. Don't just
protest.
Don't just be protesting and then a year later we see you guys buying nice ass houses, because then people are gonna start knocking on your door.
Because if you do check their social media, you're not like seeing any like actual like getting their hands dirty, helping the community, like I don't know, planting a garden or some shit, or like building
doing shoe drives, toy drives, book drives, you're not really, whatever it may be.
You're just seeing like reposts, you're seeing like poster with quotes, like you're just seeing protests, and it's just like at the end of the day, that's not what's gonna carry.
That's not gonna make change. You gotta actually.
Right, and also like you got 90 million is a lot. You can do a lot with 90 million.
$90 million, yes, you can.
Yeah, so like it wasn't like nobody was donating. A lot of people were donating. So now like you can't hide behind the fact that people weren't helping out, because there was a lot of people that were trying to help out. So I mean, it is what it is. Let's see how things, end up going. I just hope that like the family that the family that they chose to like show up and protest for actually get some of the money, because that's the whole reason they were there to begin with. So like, let's not try to exploit your own people here.
Yeah, we see more rappers and more like athletes donate money specifically to the families than we seen Black Lives Matter.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. I
know Lil Baby donated money. I think Kanye paid for somebody's scholarship. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I think it was George Floyd's daughter or something. I know Lil Baby donated money to George Floyd's family. Somebody else donated money to Breonna Taylor's family. Mm-hmm. Like I said, someone played for George Floyd's daughter's college fund. Like, the celebrities did more actually, like the work with the families than BLM did, in my opinion.
Right.
So that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Seeing as you're supposed to be BLM, you're supposed to be here to help the black people or black lives, specifically for those two like people that we talked about. Rest in peace, George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, by the way.
Yeah. Anyways, speaking about how your own people be doing you dirty. Yo, I got a thing with North Korea, man. For years they've been trying to bomb everybody. They've been trying to bomb the US. They don't let nobody in their country. They don't let nobody out of their country. And now they want to ban skinny jeans. What else is on the list?
All right, so hold on. So North Korea basically banned skinny jeans as a symbol of capitalistic lifestyles, and they've also outlawed any type of haircut that is considered non-socialist, I guess.
Wow, they use a Miley Cyrus picture.
Yeah, so basically like his haircut, I guess. Well,
what's wrong with my haircut?
It's not a typical proper haircut.
What the fuck is a typical proper haircut then?
For an Asian?
Yeah.
I don't know, like a bowl cut, I guess.
Oh, hell no. I'm going to look like a K-pop.
A normal, like
I probably do look like that now.
Like a normal Caesar? Like something that's just basic?
So you're telling me you can't get a taper, you can't get a fade?
No, you probably got to get all even. It's not showing no hairstyles, man. But you probably got to get all even. You probably got to be all even, no taper, no fade. Probably could barely get a lineup.
Just a 1 all around, a 2 all around, a 3 all around. Probably trim the edges, and that's probably it. That's boring.
But my thing is, why did they ban skinny jeans? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't understand that either.
Like, what does the size of your jeans have to do with?
Korea is like super well known for K-pop. Have you seen the shit they've been wearing?
Yeah, they be wearing like the tightest clothes.
Man, but it's either the tightest or the baggiest. There's no in between.
Yeah, it's either super tight or super baggy. But I don't get it. Like,
you know why? Because Kim Jong-un's fat. He can't wear skinny jeans.
I see fat people wear skinny jeans all the time.
He can't. Does he look like he can rock skinny jeans? That boy look like he can rock a loose fit. Probably be in the sweatpants all day, every day.
Hey man, I seen a lot of fat people.
If he try to
like wear some skinny jeans. I'm not saying that they look good in them, but they wear them.
I think skinny jeans should be only. It should be.
It's in the name. It should be for skinny people.
It should be for me with the 26 waist.
Should be for skinny people, not people.
Man, I'm mad. Why are we hating on skinny jeans? Like, seriously, it be my own people that ban the worst.
Hey man, he don't want to see y'all prosper.
What do you like? How do you even come up with the meeting to do that? Hey, you know what? Like, we should all ban skinny jeans. I just was walking around and I saw this little fuck face wearing the tightest jeans of my life, and you know what? I'm gonna put an end to that. So I call up a meeting and I say, you know what? The rest of the country can't wear skinny jeans. Guess what? Now trash can everywhere is gonna be having nothing but skinny jeans.
So here's my thing: how does North Korea even get like the hipster type of clothes, seeing as they don't really trade with the rest of the world? Do these people just go to South Korea to buy their clothes?
I think they just make their own shit. No,
tell me they got their own like fucking H&M store out there.
They got to, because they don't let anybody in or anybody out. Like that, it's like a real tough process to get in and get out. I don't even know what their trading is like. If they do trade with anybody, it's probably just China. And so
Russia maybe.
And so China make a lot of skinny jeans. I've been seeing them
Yeah,
Chinese people wearing the tightest jeans, bro.
Because Chinese people be
Because they be
like
buying,
hipsters.
they be
Those are the hype beasts.
Yeah, they be with the hype beasts. So skinny jeans, but maybe right now it's kind of like transitioning to the baggy jeans.
I'm not wearing baggy jeans ever again. I'm sticking with my.
I can't do that shit,
my
man.
skinnies, man.
I don't like walking around and just flopping around my ankle. I gotta show my little cute ankle off.
And then you gotta cuff them, fam. You're not about to just lick me.
Right. I cuff my jeans. Do you cuff your jeans?
Yes, sometimes.
Oh my God. Timber, get down. Do you want to talk on the mic or something? Oh no, he's licking this shit. Timber.
You gonna lick the mic? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You got COVID. You got COVID on the mic now.
Yeah, he went to Arizona. He wildin'.
You got a COVID
He was
mic.
kissing all the bitches out there. Just kidding. No, he wasn't.
Was he trying to knock that over?
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
You just came and decided to
Why are
act
you
up.
coming in here with shows violence?
This man
Jesus
woke up and chose violence. What's
Christ,
good
man.
with you, Timber?
I'm gonna send your ass to North Korea.
Oh my gosh. They gonna oops, I almost said something offensive.
They gonna what?
Nothing.
Oh, you said they were gonna skin his ass and put him in a soup, huh?
I did not say that.
Hey, speaking of that, there was a report of a case coming out of China, of course, of the H1N1 bird flu case coming out of China. How do you feel about that? It just seems like it's a.
I seen that. Yeah, recently there was some other flu.
And I heard that one was wild because that one exists before, and it kind of like over time it kind of get eradicated. But I heard that one like I think that one had like a 65 or 70% like killing rate, if I'm not mistaken. I can be wrong. I remember scientists. I remember watching a podcast and the scientists saying the H1N1 really fucked people up when it was like around. So if
but there's already a vaccine for it.
Yes.
I remember when it came out in middle school, we had to get that shit right away.
Yes, there is. But what if it's like a different strain and all that bullshit? Oh man.
Well, same thing with COVID. The different strains still technically work with if you get the vaccine, you still like,
right?
I guess immune or whatever from the. I could be wrong, but that's what I read.
Damn.
So, I mean,
I'm
not worried about it.
Man, I don't know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm
that's
not
why
gonna.
That's why y'all should
be worry about it anymore. Shit, it's a little too late. If it was an AZ, well, I probably got it.
That's why you should be taking your vitamins anyways.
Yeah.
So if you get sick, you wouldn't have to.
Bro,
have to worry about shit killing you.
Bro, after the rave, me and Nicole went to CVS and got the fucking the 1,000 milligram shit that you put in your water.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the big difference after drinking that. Like it was like the energy one.
Yeah, like the airborne or whatever it's called.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was like it's like emergency. Yeah, emergency. Yeah. I never had that before, and
that shit helps a lot.
I highly suggest anybody fucking just drinking that shit the day after a rough night of partying. Yeah. You might need that because I haven't had a hangover in a long time because I haven't even really drank like that.
Yeah, I'm about to give me some of that. I might hope.
Yeah, no, drinking is expensive. We went to the club, and 2 drinks was like $29. I looked at it and I was like,
that's how much it is out here.
Man, do I need to fucking put a flashlight on this shit again? Because it was fucking expensive. I was like
33 out here in LA.
Man, and like, how could you even get drunk in the club anymore? You have to fucking stand outside the parking lot, drink until your mind is gone, blasted.
That's why people pregame.
I know, but the thing is, I can't pregame as an Asian man. I just can't do it because if I sit there, let's say I pregame for 10 minutes, right? I'm chugging. By the time I get into that line, bro, I'm instantly red. Like I'm
okay. You don't have to get buzzed.
Red.
Just drink like 1 or 2 drinks.
I know, but then by that time I come in, like, I'm not going to be drunk. See, it's hard for Asian people to pregame and drink because we going to walk around with this red face looking like we're about to wear like a burn up flame. Like,
I guess that's true. Yeah,
and then everybody,
Asian glow.
Right. And then everybody there is like, oh, you're fucked. And like, no, I'm actually not fucked, but like, it just kind of hit me real hard,
No, I get you.
But it's just the burn. It's weird. It's like it's not just because an Asian person is red does not mean you're drunk. It just means you're fucking red.
I get you.
And I think most of us probably because we're allergic to alcohol, but that's just me. Because I do get like red rashes in my back. I don't know if you get that shit.
No.
But I get that.
I'm not allergic to alcohol. So.
Oh, okay. Because I get it like that, and I still can't figure out what gets me. I think it's tequila. I think it's vodka for sure, and I think it's tequila. Sometimes bourbon gets me, and then beer gets me. But I just can't. There'll be days when I'm drinking a lot, and it doesn't happen, and there'll be days when I'm drinking a lot, and that shit just instantly comes. I'm like, I still can't figure out what that is.
All right, let's go ahead and switch it over to one more.
Oh yeah, the wildest story. Let me read this shit.
Okay, this shit is crazy.
Wow, your wife's Indian, so
yes.
I wonder if this shit happens quite as often.
About this when I get home later tonight too.
Okay, so we all know, like now day and age is a little different. Things are new, but in other countries things are old.
They're still a little more traditional, yeah.
Right. So in India, usually most of the time the weddings are kind of set up, right?
Yes.
It's kind of like
an arranged marriage. Or
yeah. Yeah, and it's still happening, now.
Yeah, they still do that now.
So the craziest story. So I'm gonna just read the title. Bryce died of heart attack at her wedding in India. So groom reportedly marries sisters. What the? With her body
in the next room. The body was in the next room.
Bro, let me read. Okay.
That's the crazy part.
Let me read it. So a bride collapsed and died at the beginning of her wedding in India. So the groom married her younger sister instead. After the body was moved to another room, according to reports. The next room over. The bride's only identified as Sherby collapsed of a heart attack while exchanging traditional garland with husband to be at the start of their ceremony Thursday, according to News 18, citing in Indo-Asia News. She was pronounced dead by a doctor who raced to the festivities in Sampura village in Uttar Pradesh. Reports say we did not know what to do in the situation. Both of the families sat together, and someone suggested.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading right now.
They got in. Yo, what should we do?
They're saying that they think that supposedly the families basically, after the bride died,
right?
They just arranged for the sister to marry the groom because they wanted to keep it in the family.
Okay, so we did not know this is both of the families sat together. Someone just toss it out. Hey, brainstorm.
Yeah, because you
toss it out.
That's just crazy. But you gotta think about it in their culture. Like when you're doing arranged marriages, like
right,
it's years put into this. It's not just like 2 months. Oh, hey, I have a son. You have a daughter. Let's get them married. Like this shit usually starts when their kids are like 5 or 6, probably.
Right.
And like this is stuff that's been planned since they were growing up. So yeah, the families probably know each other. They don't want to have to start over and meet a whole new family.
Right.
So I can see why they
my
did it.
thing is
that shit is crazy.
So it says Nisha should be married to the groom. The woman brother shall be told. The family discussed the matter and both agreed. It was a bizarre situation as the wedding of my younger sister took place while the dead body of my sister was lying in the other room. After the joy of the wedding, the family immediately held last rites for the dead bride to be. Damn! So they had a blast. They said, fuck it. We're going to leave the dead body. Here she is, what she is. You're dead. But the party must continue. Yo, if the party goes on was a family, this is the family. The party must go on.
That's fucked up.
I can't. Oh my God.
My thing is they couldn't just go ahead with this, but just reschedule the wedding maybe for like a week from now or something. Like at least take some time in the morning. You're just gonna leave the body.
Nobody cried. Nobody.
Yeah, that's why I'm confused. Like how did this work? Were y'all even sad that she died?
I'm starting to think Indians people ain't got no feelings. Cause if this. Like, how you do this shit? This your kid. Your kid just died, and you gonna sit there and be like, "Well, you can marry the sister."
You gotta think, man.
I got another kid in line, bro. Let's get it.
It's a different culture.
Oh man. Like, okay, what's the divorce rate in India? Can we look that up?
I don't think it's high,
bro.
I don't know.
Is that even allow divorce rate?
I can't spell.
India,
the divorce rate is less than 1%.
What? Damn, man, they don't. They are committed over there.
Right.
Shit.
Out of
Man,
1,000
what?
marriages, only 13 result in divorce.
What?
Jesus.
So there is no such thing as domestic violence. There is no such because
No, there's
like
shit
they
like
can
that
beat
over
the fuck out the woman and they
No,
will
there's-
still
no,
get.
There's shit like that over there. But
I know, no, I
mean,
bro,
just like over here.
No,
even-
it has to be a lot more over there because you know they're traditional. So the men's always
Okay,
like,
but it's
oh,
just
I
like-
got this power over the
It's
woman.
just like over here with domestic violence. Not every woman speaks out when they're getting physically or mental
Yeah,
or
but-
verbally abused.
yeah,
Like,
but at least over
it's
here
more-
they can divorce a motherfucker. Over there, it's kind of like,
Yeah,
oh,
but-
I really
okay,
want
but-
to, but it's like I'm stuck.
but with domestic violence, even if the women over here have the choice, it's still the feeling of feeling vulnerable or weak. I don't want to use the word weak, but like weak or hopeless. So not a lot of women, even over here, the same thing. They don't leave when they're in that situation.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, yeah, that probably does happen more over there because like these are all.
Yeah,
Like you said, the men do have more power than the women over there. But
right. Because they're
I would say it's probably the same amount. It's just over here, it's more. You probably don't hear about it more over there. Whereas over here, you hear about it more because women have more power. Like you can go to the police, you can seek help
Right.
to get away, even if most women don't, because depending on their situation. But you still have that choice
Right.
if you want to. So that's the only difference, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same amount.
wild. I mean, you would think
Because
that
in
like
America, it's like 50%.
50%, yeah.
It's like 50%. Half of the people who get married get divorced.
Because we just don't give a fuck here. Like
You
we
think about-
don't. But
you gotta think about it, a lot of times
also
in
we don't
America-
do arranged marriage here.
Yeah, but a lot of times in America, a lot of people get married just because they end up having a kid together. Like
right.
they don't get married because they've been together. Like I know people who've gotten married and only been with each other for like maybe a year or so, but they probably had a kid or they just moved real fast. Like in America, that's one thing about our culture. We move real fast when it comes to like relationships.
But man, okay, what's more healthy? You know, like I would for me, I would say the American tradition, not tradition, but like the fact
American
that
way of like finding love and marriage.
right, like I don't see how growing up and being forced into a relationship and a marriage and a family and like kids, as you know, it's already fucking set up, pre-planned for you. Like I don't see how that can help with like, you know, mental health for people, you know, and
think
like
about it.
I
If you're-
can't like the relationship can't obviously be how it should be, because you might not even love the person that you're with for 50 odd years.
Yes, but you also got to remember, a lot of just because 90% of marriages in India are arranged, that doesn't mean that every time. I mean, I guess technically you're being forced, but it doesn't mean that you're not gonna like the person. I'm pretty sure out of these 90%, I'm pretty sure like at least 60. If we want to go less, we'll just say 50. I'm pretty sure like 50% of the people actually like end up liking each other, end up matching, like meshing well. I'm pretty sure they go through a whole vetting process. They're not gonna just. I'm pretty sure it's more modern than like. I'm pretty sure back then, like in the older times, it used to just be okay. Your family has a son, we have a daughter.
Right.
Let's arrange for them to get married. But I'm pretty sure more now, it's more like they want to make sure the families mesh with each other. The bride and groom actually like each other.
What if one of these women, like, you know, happened to, you know, forced to marry a guy and he happened to have a micro penis? Like, what do you do then? Like
the same thing women do in America when they like a dude and he ends up having a small.
they break up with him.
That's not true.
Oh my god,
That's not true.
What's the?
What are you
That's
talking about? If a girl really likes you, she's not gonna care. Obviously, if you have a micro penis.
yeah. I'm
that's
talking about a
completely
micro
different. Like a
penis.
fucking.
I'm talking about micro
If,
penis
if
here.
your girl loves
I'm talking
you,
like
you're
you
not
need
gonna
a
fucking care.
magnifying glass to find it.
Okay, that's rare. You understand that, right?
So yeah, that is rare. But
Not
also,
everybody's just walking
but
around
also,
with a tiny
damn,
ass dick
like
that.
they kind of have it good over there. Imagine you're an ugly guy, you ain't got no game, but you just, you know, you were born into a fixed relationship that just kind of be here you go.
Yeah, sounds. Hey man, sounds easy to me.
Man, it's just too good for the guys.
For
it's
men,
too
it
good
sounds
for the
easy.
guys.
For women, that's a little.
Old culture is was created for men, and it's too good for them. This shit can't go on any longer. See, India is struggling right now because this is probably the reason why.
No, this is not the reason why they're struggling, because they're an underdeveloped country. Come on, man. You can't say they're struggling.
And all the women are fucking probably really pissed off and sad that
But
they
you don't
ain't
know
got
that.
good dick in their life because they can't pick dick.
But you don't know that. You can't say that, because
I'm
we can
just
say the same for
assuming.
Asian women.
Could I fucking assume?
Okay, we can assume the same about Asian
I
women
could say
live
that.
in
Actually,
Asia.
in Asia,
Because they
there's
can't
a
even
lot
fucking-
of failed kill relationships and marriage because of that.
You do understand, like in Asia, Asians like Asians, not the Southeastern Asians.
No. That shit happened in my
country. Y'all can't even have kids. Y'all can have like.
Wait, why can't we have kids?
In China, they just passed a law.
In China. In China,
just passed a law. Before you can only have one kid.
Yeah, well, that's
you don't
China.
Think they feel like shit too?
Yeah, because so many fucking kids were being dumped in the trash can. Yeah, of course they had to make that rule. All the Chinese parents start dumping their kids in trash can. That was a big thing back. But that was a big thing back then.
And that comes back to the culture, because in China they made it where, like, they want people to have children, but the children to be boys, and they made it like having a girl was almost like.
It was like a sin,
a shame or a dishonor to the family. So that comes back to just the cultures. Just the cultures have to change.
Yeah, no, you know that.
But India is underdeveloped. They're still they're not a developed country.
But that should show how great the women like movement here is, and the like how far have they gotten.
Because you see is reaching to the Middle
other
East
countries
and all that.
It's. Bro, yeah, in Middle East, but you know,
I think there was something that just passed where women in the Middle East and like Iraq or Saudi Arabia somewhere could finally get a driver's license.
The Saudi Arabia is a wild story, because it was supposed to be like the dawn of a new age, but the prince that's currently in power, he actually stripped more power away from women than actually how much they had before. They can't even drive. They can't even drive out the city. Like, they can't even
goddamn,
bro, they can't leave. They can't get on the freeway. Like, I think women aren't supposed to be driving on the freeway because they're not supposed to leave the city. They can't leave a certain premise if they're born into that city.
Yeah.
So they got a long way to go. Like, and all Southeast Asia, it's a man's world when you get to that portion of the
Southeast Asia,
of
Middle
the world.
East, yes.
It's wild.
Yeah, like, because my girl still tells me, like, in India, like, and like even when she went over there a couple years ago,
yeah,
like her family even still do the culture. Like, when women are on their periods, they're not allowed to be in the kitchen.
What?
Because they're considered dirty.
What?
Yeah.
Is that an Indian thing?
Yeah, it's an Indian thing.
Okay, because I was like, that's not a thing in my.
Nah, wow. I think that's an Indian thing.
That is.
Yeah, I remember my girl told me.
What are you supposed to do for 3 days? You're
5 days, probably.
5 days, you're just locked away.
No, it's not that you're locked away, but you can't be in the kitchen, like cooking, cleaning, and stuff, because you're considered dirty.
So you got to eat elsewhere.
I don't know. She didn't explain it like in depth to me, but I'll ask her and we could follow up on it.
2
but yeah, pretty much.
2 a.m. waking up, like coming into the kitchen, like.
I mean, obviously,
let me get my midnight snack.
People people like get the food for you, but as far as like cooking and, I'm pretty sure you could be in the kitchen. Okay, if you're sitting down and like
Uber eat me the bitch.
If you're sitting down and eating, obviously, I think that's different. But as far as like cooking, preparing food, cleaning, doing stuff like that,
right? You
can't do when you're on your period.
So in India, are they like big on if you had a boy or a girl? Like, are they big on that? Like, are people supposed to be striving for
a boy? No, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
not,
it's like that. Yeah.
No, okay, cool. At least that's not the case, because you can't really fucking depict who you're gonna have. Yeah. Like, I know in China for a while, like, if you had a girl, you're supposed to throw that shit to the side curb, until they like realize, oh, maybe that's very inhumane of us to do that.
Yeah, China's been China's been behind on a couple things.
Okay, maybe we should allow them to have girls. Maybe.
And I mean, it's still probably like a limit on how many girls you can have in China.
Man, you know how many people was actually adopting female babies from China? It was like some crazy statistic.
Yeah, because it was
wild. I remember.
It was bad. I don't think it's bad no more, but it was bad.
Bro, I remember in Vietnam at the time, and they were like saying all that shit, and actually people from Vietnam were getting the fucking babies from China. Yeah, bro, and we were broke as a motherfucker.
That's how bad it was. Like, they was just doing, like you said, they was just literally throwing babies in the dumpster cans because they found out they was girls, and it's like they're not gonna let us keep them anyway.
I remember growing up, we kept seeing fucking pictures of babies in dumpsters, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" They're like, "Yep, that's communism for you."
Exactly, it's fucking communism,
man. But yeah, all right, man. That's it for this episode. It's good to be back. Took a week off, man, but we're gonna be back rolling next week. Can't Tell Me Nothing podcast, episode 19. Subscribe, like. We out.